Nate the Great and the Fishy Prize. I, Nate the Great, am a detective. I solve important cases. I do important things. This morning, I was doing something very important. I was at the supermarket buying dog shampoo for my dog Sludge. Today, Sludge is going to be in a contest in the park to choose the smartest pet in the neighborhood. I, Nate the Great, knew that Sludge was the smartest and the dirtiest. I wanted Sludge to be a clean winner. I bought dog shampoo and flour, eggs, butter, milk, salt, sugar, and baking powder to make pancakes. I like pancakes. I bought so many things that the grocery bag bulged open. I put the bag in the basket on the back of my new bicycle and started to ride home. I rode past Rosamond's house. Strange noises were coming from inside her house. I wondered what was happening, but I kept my eyes straight ahead to see where I was going. Besides, strange noises were the right kind of noises to come from Rosamond's house, because Rosamond is strange. When I got home, Sludge was waiting for me. "I bought you some shampoo," I said. Sludge did not think that was good news. Sludge hates baths. I put the grocery bag on the floor. Before I could unpack it, the telephone rang. Rosamond was calling me. She said, "I'm in charge of making the prize for the smartest pet contest." "I know that," I said. I, Nate the Great, hated to think what the prize would be. "Well, I made the prize, but it disappeared," Rosamond said. "What was it?" I asked. "It was an empty tuna fish can with the word smartest hand-painted on it in big gold letters," Rosamond said. "Any pet would love to have it, but now it's gone." "You'll have to make another prize," I said. "It's too late," Rosamond said. "The contest starts in an hour. Will you look for the tuna fish can?" "I have to get Sludge ready for the contest," I said. "But there won't be a contest unless you find the prize," Rosamond said. I looked at Sludge. He looked smart. There had to be a contest. "I, Nate the Great, will take your case," I said. "Sludge and I will be right over." I hung up. I said to Sludge, "We must look for a tuna fish can. There is no time to give you a bath." Sludge thought that was good news. I wrote a quick note to my mother. Sludge and I rushed to Rosamond's house. There was no time to say hello. "Show me where the prize was," I said. Rosamond took me to her room. It smelled fishy. There were things knocked over and things upside down and things all over the floor. It was a mess. "What happened?" I asked. "Everyone came with their pets to sign up for the contest," Rosamond said. Annie came with Fang, Pip came with his parrot, Finley came with his rat, Oliver came with his favorite eel. Claude came with a pig, and Esmeralda came by herself. She doesn't have any pets, so she is going to be the judge. Well, Fang ran after Claude's pig, the pig ran after my 4 cats, my cats ran after the rat, Pip's parrot got all excited and flew around and around. Even Oliver's eel got excited. They barked and squawked and oinked and all sorts of things, and they messed up my whole room. Yes, I, Nate the Great, heard all the strange noises when I rode by on my bicycle. But where was the tuna fish can when all of this was going on? I had opened the window and put the can on the sill so the gold paint could dry in the air, Rosamond said. "When did you notice that the can was gone?" I asked. "Right after the stampede," Rosamond said. "Everyone left and I started to clean up the room. That's when I saw that the prize was gone. I looked all over the room for it." "I will look again," I said. "It could be somewhere in this mess. It must have been knocked off the windowsill. Then perhaps one of those pets who is supposed to be so smart pushed or pulled or dragged or kicked it." "My cats are smart," Rosamond said. "They're all going to win first prize. Rosamond's cats could win first prize for being strange." I, Nate the Great, looked around the room. "Did you paint the can in this room?" I asked. "No," Rosamond said. "Good. I'm looking for smudges of gold paint. They might be a clue to where the can went. But if you had painted in this room, you could have left smudges. I don't smudge, Rosamond said. I, Nate the Great, went to the windowsill. If I could find smudges of gold paint inside the sill or outside the sill, I would know whether the can went inside or outside. But the can had not left any clues behind. Sludge was sniffing and sniffing. I asked Rosamond, "Did you wash the tuna fish can before you made it into a prize?" "Sort of," Rosamond said. "Sort of," I said. "How do you sort of wash a tuna fish can?" "The cats licked it," Rosamond said. "They do a good job. They love tuna fish." "But they don't use soap," I said. "That means the prize may still smell fishy." "That is a clue." I turned to Sludge. "Fishy smell," I said. Sludge and I could not find the can in Rosamond's room. "The can is not here," I said. "Perhaps it went out the window." Sludge and I rushed outside. We looked around. There was no tuna fish can. There were no smudges of gold paint. There was nothing but a sidewalk. We walked back and forth. Perhaps the can had been pushed or pulled or dragged or kicked up the street, or down the street, but we could not find anything. We went back inside. "This is a very fishy case," I said to Rosamond. The can was on the windowsill, so it had to be knocked inside the house or outside the house. But it isn't inside, and it isn't outside. "Maybe someone took the can on purpose," Rosamond said. I, Nate the Great, did not want to tell Rosamond that no one would take her tuna fish can on purpose. It was the dumbest prize for the smartest contest. "I will have to speak to everyone who is in the room," I said. "Perhaps someone saw what happened to the tuna fish can." Sludge and I rushed to Claude's house. Claude was there with a pig. Claude is always losing things. I was glad he had not lost the pig. Claude was brushing the pig's bristles while she ate a big pile of food. "I am getting Anastasia ready for the smartest pet contest," Claude said. Anastasia oinked. I watched her eat. The food was disappearing fast. I was thinking. The tuna fish can had completely disappeared. Maybe it had disappeared inside something. One way to make something disappear is to eat it. I, Nate the Great, spoke up. "Pigs are supposed to eat like pigs. Would Anastasia eat a tin can?" "I don't know," Claude said. "She's not my pig. She lives on a farm and I borrowed her for the contest, but I keep losing her. She finds her way back to me. She's smart. That's why she's going to win the contest." Anastasia oinked again. "May I open Anastasia's mouth?" I asked. "If you really want to," Claude said. I, Nate the Great, did not really want to open Anastasia's mouth, but I had a case to solve. I had a job to do. Slowly, I opened her mouth. Quickly, I closed her mouth. Anastasia did not eat the tuna fish can, I said. "How do you know?" Claude asked. "Because the gold paint on the can was wet." Anastasia would have a gold mouth if she ate the can. "Tell me, did you see the can on Rosamond's windowsill?" "I saw it, and I didn't see it," Claude said. "That's an interesting answer," I said. I, Nate the Great, say that is an interesting answer. "Well, I saw the can on the windowsill just before everyone started to run around," Claude said. "When it was all over, I didn't see the can anymore." "That is an old clue," I said. I already know that the can disappeared during the animal stampede. I, Nate the Great, need a new clue, and I need it fast. Sludge and I left. I was sorry I had seen Anastasia. She had made me feel very hungry. I wish I had time to go home and make pancakes with the things I had bought at the supermarket, but I hadn't even had time to unpack them. And I knew there was not enough time left to talk to everyone else who had been in Rosamond's room. Annie, Oliver, Pip, Finley, and Esmeralda were left. I decided to go to Esmeralda's house. I had 2 reasons. Esmeralda is smart. Esmeralda does not have a pet. Perhaps she had a chance to see something when everyone was busy with their pets. Esmeralda was sitting quietly outside on her steps. She did not have anybody to wash or brush or feed or brag about. I said, "I'm looking for the tuna fish can that was on Rosamond's windowsill. Did you see it?" "Yes," Esmeralda said. "I saw it before everything went wild. Fang was standing under it." "Fang?" I said. "Tell me which way he was facing." "He was standing with his right side next to the window," Esmeralda said. His fangs were showing and his tail was swooshing back and forth. I, Nate the Great, was thinking this was a new clue. But did it mean anything? Suddenly I knew that it was important. Sludge and I rushed to Annie's house. She was giving Fang a bath. He was sitting in the bathtub, all soapy and foamy. And fangy. "I'm getting Fang ready for the contest," Annie said. "Everyone knows he is pretty. Now they will find out he is smart." I, Nate the Great, already knew more about Fang than I wanted to know. Annie started to scrub Fang's tail. "Stop!" I yelled. "Fang may be wearing a clue." "Fang isn't wearing anything," Annie said. I, Nate the Great, got close to Fang. I did not want to do that, but I had to see his tail. I was glad the clue was on the end of him. I leaned over. I saw what I hoped I would see, gold paint on Fang's tail. It was on the right side. "Happy bath," I said to Fang. Sludge and I rushed back to Rosamond's house. I, Nate the Great, say the tuna fish can was knocked outside. "How do you know that?" Rosamond asked. "Because Fang was standing with his right side next to the window," I said. "His tail was going back and forth. He got gold paint on the right side of his tail. That means his tail hit the can going outward, right out the window. Sludge and I are going to look very hard outside your house again." "The contest is supposed to start in 15 minutes, Rosamond said. "Then we will look very hard and very fast," I said. Sludge and I rushed outside. We looked around again. We walked up and down the sidewalk again. It was a boring sidewalk. Cracks, but no clues. I, Nate the Great, was stumped. This was definitely a tough, fishy case. I was not going to solve it on time. I was not going to solve it at all. Sludge and I walked home. We went into the kitchen. Sludge sniffed the grocery bag. Why was he sniffing the grocery bag? It only had dog shampoo and things for making pancakes, and Sludge does not like dog shampoo or pancakes. But I could not think about the bag. I had to think about the case. I thought about the can being knocked to the outside. I thought about it happening while everything was noisy and wild. I thought about fishy smells and things disappearing inside Anastasia's stomach, and gold paint. I thought about Fang's tail. Fang had taken home some gold paint on his tail. He did not know he had taken it home. Annie did not know he had taken it home. Perhaps someone had taken the tuna fish can home, but did not know it. But how? Tuna fish cans do not stick to tails. You can see a tuna fish can. Unless you can't see it. Unless it is hidden from sight. Unless it disappears into something as big and bulky as Anastasia's stomach. Suddenly I, Nate the Great, knew I had solved the case. But I knew Sludge had solved it sooner. He was still sniffing my grocery bag. I looked inside the bag. Then I put my hand inside the bag and pulled out an empty tuna fish can with "Smartest" painted on it in smudged gold letters. I, Nate the Great, had taken the can, and I knew how it had happened. Fang knocked the can out the window just as I was riding past Rosamond's house. The can fell into the open grocery bag that was in the basket on the back of my bicycle. I had taken the can home without knowing it. And now I must take the can to the contest. Sludge and I rushed to the park where everyone was waiting for the contest to start. Rosamond was there with her 4 cats, Annie was there with Fang, Pip was there with his parrot, Finley was there with his rat, Oliver was there with his favorite eel. Esmeralda was there with herself. Claude and Anastasia were not there. I was not surprised. Either Claude had lost Anastasia or Anastasia had lost Claude. I held up the prize. I said, "This was in my grocery bag." It is a long story, and time is short. I handed the prize to Esmeralda, the judge. Rosamond clapped her hands. "Oh, goody green grasshopper," she said. "Now we can have the contest." "Yes, I, Nate the Great, solved the case," I said. "But Sludge solved it first," Esmeralda said. "That was a very smart thing for Sludge to do. But every pet will have a chance to do something smart. Let's begin." I, Nate the Great, had to watch and listen while Oliver's eel swam backwards, Fang did something stupid with his fangs, Rosamond's cat shed hair on command, Finley's rat found some hidden cheese, and Pip's parrot forgot her entire speech. Then Esmeralda said, "The winner is Sludge, the only pet who can solve a mystery." Sludge looked proud. I, Nate the Great, looked proud. Everyone congratulated Sludge. Esmeralda handed the prize to him. Sludge sniffed it, but he did not know what to do with it. He was now the owner of a very strange tuna fish can with smudged gold letters. Sludge and I went home with the prize. I gave him a huge bone. Sludge thought it was the best prize of all. The case was over, but I had something left to do. I unpacked the grocery bag, threw away the dog shampoo, and made some pancakes.